Welcome to World of Walkers and all things Walker War. My name is Deranged87 and I'm your host. So let's get down to it. So first off, I want to say a huge shout out to Melt for getting me involved, getting me across that barrier and actually doing these videos. Yeah, I appreciate it. I love the Lion community, love the Ark of War community and what we do. Yeah, I'd love to be able to see more people get involved. With that being said, again, this is World of Walker, and so there's a couple things that I want to cover. First and foremost, I'll go over, as we do the channel, as we start bringing content out, I want to go over different Walker commanders, the progression of Walkers. I want to go over what Walkers do well, what they can do, but more specifically what they can't do either. To be a good Walker commander, you got to know your limitations and what you can and can't do. So we'll get into that. But first and foremost, I want to touch on today Pictor, because I'm going to kill him soon. He's going to get eaten into full metal. But that's going to be a different show. It'll be soon. We'll go over it. Reason being is that, man, as this game shifts, and I've been playing for 3 years on server 803, started on 209 with ZGL. Clever is my right-hand guy. We've played together for a while. So, yeah, anyways, typically, you know, if you want to be a competitive guild, you have to be able to build your builds around the players that are in your guilds. And specifically, to be able to work on each other's strengths, to be able to work together. So, Pictor for me, I came into the scene with Pictor at a time when our boss on the server was ruling the server with a T11, T12 Vegas, and they just full stack into Syndicate, and there's nothing that anybody could do anything about. And I watched a couple videos going, who am I going to commit to? And when you get to T9, T10, you're pretty much across the board pretty even. You've probably done all your basics all the way through. You get to T9, you unlock all three, you get to T10, and you pick one, and you go, okay, where am I going to go? Maybe I'll do all three, maybe it's just one, I'm not really sure, but you have to make a decision at T10. And so I started looking at commanders, and I started looking at Pictor. I saw Melt's video on it, and the thing that really stood out to me was the ability to get a 90% hit on slot 1 by putting my commander in slot 2, 3, 5, or 6, where I'm not head on. So if it's a 1 slot bus, and I know they've got rangers in slots 2 and 3, or they've got another troop style, I can sit there and stack up the specific gear set that I run them with, and that's going to be this gear right here. I did Valkyrie, a couple of Titans. I just wanted pure damage. Crit pants, which don't typically go on a Walker commander, but he crits on his sticky bombs. And his sticky bomb, the second skill over here, is a 60% chance with a 90% of normal attack, which is, that's a hard hit for a secondary skill hit. Yeah, and so what I want to be able to do is to be able to stack up guaranteed hits. Now he has a guaranteed hit skill, it's Acuity Gift, and once it triggers on all 6 slots, which is awesome. But I want to make sure that every time I line him up in that slot 6 formation, that I'm going to get that hit on slot 3, and that will go over to slot 1 with a 90% damage hit plus crit. So, what do I run with them? I run all guaranteed hit gems. That'll be Taurus, Leo, and Gemini. There you go. So if you're on like a small or medium server and you feel like you're getting hit up by air, that's kind of the new meta now that everybody's going towards. They're going back. Rogers was completely a thing after Vega. Then before Vega, it was, you know, Rogers was kind of the thing. And, you know, people moved away from Rogers to Vega because of the heavy hit, and Rogers taking so many loss. There was a few mega players out there that I'm sure were complaining to devs, going, man, something's broke, we got to get this thing fixed. Not going to say any names. But yeah, so congratulations, you got your Rogers back. When they took Galactic Battle and reduced the timer for the base and the strongholds. The strongholds are now 30 minutes, and the base is an hour. So you reduce the time limit on these things down. That makes it so much harder to get 80 losses to stack up, which means there's no lockout. If there's no lockout, all you need is 3 Rogers to win Galactic Battle. And so with migration coming in, you've seen the shift of the servers. All these guilds and mega players that have been a part of these guilds on different servers have really just kind of come together onto a handful of mega servers to compete, and they're looking for that top 4 slot. There's some good prizes at top 4 that really pay out. So you're looking at spirit stones and frags and different command. I mean, there's prizes. It's not really worth the money, but it's better than not getting anything at all, which is what most guilds do when they go into Galactic Battle. They spend a bunch of money, they don't really get anything back. So with this shift, going back to Rogers being relevant, there's a real problem, and that means that what do? Well, Pictor is going to be eaten into Full Metal. Full Metal is the answer to Rogers. There's a couple other commanders, and I'm going to leave that out there. I'm not really going to get into that. I'll let you decide. Put it into the comments below which commanders you think might be able to take on to Rogers. There's a couple of commanders that really have good comebacks. I can name 3 or 4 offhand, but I want to hear from you. I know Melt's covered a few. What do you think? Which commanders do you think could take on Rogers? For me, I am making the shift from Pictor at this point in the game to Full Metal. Now, I'm not saying everybody that has a Pictor should make that shift. Every guild, I feel, needs a Pictor. And I'm excited because we got a guy coming over that is going to replace my Pictor. But Pictor, you get that slot 6 formation, you're going to make them hurt. If they put troops out there, you will make them hurt for putting it out there. They will stop putting it out there. And then you can own the server. So I'm just going to leave that there. But for this purpose, I just wanted to kind of play around with Pictor because I'm not going to have him much longer and show you guys just some of the stuff that I'm talking about here. So I've got a Vega lined up here. 888, I believe, is his leadership. So let's see, what are we looking at? 888 times 900 per troop, so he's about an 800,000 Vega. I'm sitting at 715, so he's about 200,000 leadership ahead of me. I'm not going to win this battle, but this gives you an idea of what you can do with some guaranteed hit gems, a little bit of dodge, and Pictor skills maxed out. So you'll see here that actually, I don't think I put my gear on there. Yeah, we're going to come back to this in just a second. I want to make sure that I have the right gear on there. Yeah. So let's just go through here. That's not a bad. Alright, so we're going to go over here. And first off, let me show you a little bit about formation that I'm talking about. So we'll just, doesn't really matter because all these rangers are going to die anyways. Let's do even just a slot 3. Alright. So you got a server boss, full stack in Sinekin, and man, you just don't know how, because honestly he's got slot 1 and he's got first trigger. What do you do? How do you get around that? How do you make him hurt? That's really the idea, is how do you make him not want to spend anymore? And that's what we're looking at here. Now, you got to understand that to be able to pull this formation off, you've got to have even tier. If you're 1 tier below, that's going to be a 40% chance you're going to get hit, even if you've got 1,000 dodge, more than he has accuracy. Boom. So you saw the Awakening, Tear space, sticky bomb. Ouch. That was probably about 400 origin that just got hit right there. That's hard. That's like ooh. You're talking about $500 to heal that, or at least a couple of weeks of Metacrystal. Yeah, that hurts. And so you can pull that formation off on your server, be able to hurt your server boss using Pictor, get his skills maxed, be able to run dodge and damage. That's what you're looking for, dodge and damage. You'll notice that on my gear set that I have over here, it's dodge, damage, guaranteed hit. That's it. That's all I want, and the only reason that I want that is to be able to pull off that hit right there. It's like Ghost Cannon, you're setting up for one trigger. You want that one trigger to be able to hurt your opponent, and that's what you're going after. So yeah, all guaranteed hits, Taurus, Leo, Gemini, with Titans. You'll see I have crit damage and attack. Those are my gems. And then I'm looking for, crit pants with dodge in them, as well as invincible. So if you're looking to be able to build a pretty formidable Pictor, man, that's your guy. He's really, really strong. So let's throw some different gear on him. Actually, here, let's go back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to full stack him against this Vega and just give you an idea of what that looks like. If you're going to run this, and let's say that you're in server and you go, man, I want to really take this thing on. We're going to go head to head because I've had some good success. I wouldn't recommend it unless you're even leadership. Not with this gear though. So what gear would you use? Well, let's talk about that for a minute. If you're going head to head with the Vega, as long as you're even leadership, you can still win. You need to be stacking Cassiopeia. Every walker that's top tier should have Cassiopeia, period. There's just no question about it. The ability to break off debuffs is so important for walkers. It gives you an advantage. It makes their skill sets obsolete. So that's number one. Number two, I personally love Virgo. There's three things that are the counter to Vega. Three things. You ready for this? Number one, reduce attack. If you can reduce their attack enough using Virgo, or if your infantry, being Ares or Virgo or Andromeda, I believe, maybe? No, Andromeda makes them skip the turn. But Ares, Ares or Virgo, you're going to reduce their attack. You reduce their attack even if Breakdown hits and ignores 60% of your defense. The problem is that if he doesn't have any attack, you go immune. You're good. You can increase your defense, but I personally like to lower their attack. Cassiopeia does both. It increases their defense, while Virgo will lower their attack. Perfect counter to a Vega Breakdown. That's number one. Number two is damage reduction. Cassiopeia has 10% damage reduction. You combine that with Fearless Pants, now you've got a total of 40% damage reduction. That immediately takes away not just the breakdown, but if you're facing T12, also the tear space hit. So very valuable in the Walker meta. And then number three is going to be crit reduction, which is also very Walker specific. You get the Walker headpiece and you get Capricorn. You combine those two and you're able to take what would have been attack and cut it in half. Now, let's say this would have been attack. If you take 100% away from attack from Virgo, boom, you lower it. Now you cut that in half with crit, so this is the damage that you would have had. And then, because of damage reduction, you're able to take 40% off of that. That is the natural counter to Vega, period. If you're running walkers, make sure that you have enough resistance weaken effect, because most of their gem sets or gear hulls are going to have strength and weaken. And the natural lineup from air to walker, you want to be able to counter that. And so that's one of my recommendations. But you'll notice here in the video, I'm just getting hammered. There's no way to get around it. Man, I'm 200,000 leadership less. And I'm running up against a Vega who's just got better gear and better gems. Hands down. So we're going to fast forward this. And you'll see that, man, I made a dent in his front row. Didn't really take him on. So let's switch this up. Let's see if we can tank mode it and see if that makes a difference. So we're going to go back here. Now the gear that I'm running here is just what I described. I've got the Gift of the Valkyrie, so I'm not running Crit Wither. I'm just going with my Valk. We've got Virgo, Cassiopeia, and then I always like to run a 2-set Libra because I'm T12, and I just don't like it when somebody sends massive amounts of T2. So I like to have some tier suppression somewhere in there. I think it's valuable. Got my Titans, running Shadow here. You can also run Tyrant or Body of Phoenix. I'm a big Body of Phoenix fan. And then you'll notice that I've got a couple of dodge gems in my Fearless pants. Some people would completely disagree with the dodge thing, but you know, when you're facing T12, if they're not going to trigger their gems, you get such an advantage if you don't get hit at all. That tear space hits hard. So let's run those. Let's see what we can do. Oop. Oh, don't freeze on me. Not during the video. Not Medusa. That's a different video. Alright, there we go. So I've got the elf here in the slot 1, just honestly to get first strike, just kind of give an idea, like, okay, if you're defending, man, battles can extremely change. I mean, from winning the entire battle to losing completely just from first strike, and that's a whole different avenue, part of the game, that we can get into at a later time. So let's go ahead and jump into this, see if we can kill off elf pretty early. Come on, come on, come on, come on, get down to Pictor, and see what this March can do. Now, he's still 200,000 leadership ahead of me. You'll notice that he has 888 on his troops. That's not by accident. Pretty sure that that's a lucky number, maybe in Chinese culture, because I've seen more than one arc with that leadership amount. That leadership amount, you're looking about 800,000. I'm currently a 715,000 Pictor. Alright, so we're jumping right into it. So he just got a Gemini trigger, so guaranteed hit. It's going to hit me, get tear space, he's going to hit me again. So it's not too powerful because I have my my Shadow on, my damage reduction, my Valk, so still hurts. Alright, so there goes the Awakening, tear space. He just triggered Virgo, but because I already triggered Cassiopeia, which increased my defense by 100%, it also reduces any debuff on me. So he triggered 100% attack reduction, and then it was able to make sure that I had full attack. Virgo just triggered on him, so his attack is reduced by 100, plus my defense went up another 100. That's 200% my defense is up because I've triggered Cassiopeia twice. So let's look at this next hit and see what happens when he hits me. Is he gonna miss? No, he hit, so I need more dodge if I'm going against him. So maybe Body of Phoenix in this specific battle would be a better option. So that way, in hits like that specific hit, he's not able to actually make the hit, because that was not a gem trigger or a guaranteed hit. Those are the ones that, you know, you want to be able to have that advantage with. So this first round is going to be a pretty even matchup back and forth. This isn't the round that I'm looking at. What you want is you want round 2 when it comes to a full-on head march with Pictor. So that's what we're waiting on. When we get the Virgo trigger to go next round, we're going to go all of our troops, and then he's going to go. But hopefully, by the time we get through all of our troops, his troops are going to be so low, they're not really going to do much damage. And then maybe we can do Virgo again. There we go. Alright, so there goes the breakdown trigger with the Gemini. That's a hard hit, because you get breakdown on both triggers. It's one of the few skills that combines. That wasn't that hard of a breakdown, though, looking at it. He got 200 per hit. I mean, that's not that hard. Alright, now here we go. Let's see what we can do. Got another Virgo. So if I'm stacking Virgo this round, when he goes next round, he's going to have 100% attack reduction for every Virgo trigger that I have. So pretty even on the front row, pretty even on the back row. Of course, he's got more troops on the back row, being that he's 800,000 and I'm 715. Is that right? Let's see. We'll do the math while we're watching the video. 888 times 900 means he's, 800,000 and I'm at 715. So about 100,000 less on the leadership. Within striking distance, honestly, that's a give or take when it comes to these types of matches, when you're full stacking a Pictor against a Vega, especially with research. If he's got less research, now this is ace, so it's not going to matter, but if he has less research, then that gives me a little bit of advantage. Alright, so you see it just melt that front row. Now you're going to get the tear space, and now the sticky bomb. Love that. And then no trigger for that last one. Did get the tear space. Breakdown. So let's see. That breakdown only got 40 troops. Now Power of Scorpio, that's a 60% increase in damage. Light of Gemini. Now Scorpio, I believe, only hits on that first hit. So that's 9.3, then 2.1. Now this should be less. It should be about 7. Oh, no, it's 3.8. Yeah, so Scorpio definitely does not stack with Gemini. But that first hit's pretty powerful. So now we got a Gemini hit. So we'll see it again. You'll see an 11. And then a 3.8. Yeah, so it's literally about a third of the damage is what we saw. Alright, so now these are the ones that are going to hurt. He may tear through that front row. I'm hoping that I can keep that front row for this march here. If I can keep that front row, then I might have a chance next round to come back. But he's going to win this battle. I'm already down. He's not as far down on his front row as I am. There goes the front row right there. That makes the next round that much harder. What you're wanting to do is even if you got one troop in that slot, if that one troop triggers Virgo this next round, then it allows me to have 100% damage or a reduced attack from Vega. I can survive a little bit more, and those are what really makes or breaks the game. Is there's skills that trigger that aren't based on leadership. There's skills that trigger that are based on leadership. If one troop's in the stack, or if you've got 1,000 troops in the stack, it makes a difference. Specifically in this situation, one troop would have triggered Cassiopeia or Virgo, which both would have benefited me greatly. I lost 2 stacks on the front row. Not going to win this one. Let's see how far it goes down. Awesome. So it looks like I did break through that front row, except for that third slot. I want to try Body of Phoenix. Body of Phoenix gets a lot of hate, but in situations like this, it really makes a difference. And just to make sure, Virgo, Cassiopeia. So here you go. Here is, and just for those that don't know what Body of Phoenix is, it has HP, defense, and dodge. So those are it splits it up instead of going all HP or HP dodge, which is invincible, or all defense, which is tyrant. This kind of splits the 3, and it does HP, defense, and dodge. So that's kind of what you're looking at. I got some defense gems, some HP gems in there. So let's take this for a spin and see if we get any different results. Mainly all I'm looking for is to see if it would make a difference in if I get hit when there isn't a guaranteed hit triggered, being Breakdown or Scorpio Gemini. So, drop it in. Alright, get past Elf. Alright, so we got the first hit, tear space, sticky bomb. God, I love how it just melts that front row. To be honest, I don't have that crit pants on there, so I'm not getting as much damage as I would if I did have the crit pants. I mean, only losing 10 Origin on the slot 2 and slot 3, that hurts. And let's see, we got Sticky Bomb. So there goes the Awakening, Tear Space, now Sticky Bomb. Boom. Now he's got his breakdown. That's going to hurt. Probably another 600 left over by the end of this. You got... Yep. Alright. Sticky Bomb. Did we get any of our Virgo Cassiopeia triggers? No. Dang, we are hurting for triggers today. Can't get a trigger to save my life. What we're really betting on is that, one, we want our Virgo, because we want to be able to go that second round and capitalize on this. Number two, we want our Cassiopeia, and that's going to keep his Virgo from triggering on me and give me the advantage on round 2. Dang, that's a heavy hit. 76 left, not looking too good. And that's you know, by giving up that resistance weakening effect from Shadow, you're really putting yourself out there to the vulnerability of the sweep. But you'll see that that was what I was looking for. He shot at me, he didn't have a guaranteed hit, it missed. That miss could be the difference in the game. If he does 2 or 3 more mistakes like that, then I'll take the game. My Virgo just triggered, which is going to give me the round 2. That's what we're looking for. It also looks like I had Cassiopeia trigger. You'll see the green up arrows. And that means that if he has a Virgo that triggers on me, I'll go immune. You'll see that because it'll say immunity above everything. So now's where it gets fun. We're hoping that he's going to miss. Nope, get a Power Scorpio. I'm going to lose my slot 3. That hurts. Especially when you're relying on gym triggers. That's what this is. This is a build that relies on gym triggers. Now I'm going to get all 5 slots to be able to go, but it's just not going to do the same. The only other gym that I would add to this would be a Leo, because Leo is breakdown. And that Leo, because I'm pretty sure he's running Tyrant, being that I'm hitting, but I'm not hitting as hard as I should be hitting, means he's definitely running Tyrant. He has probably, I don't know, 600% defense. And if I was running Leo and Leo hit, what that means is that I'm going to ignore 60% of that defense. And so all the attack that I have stacked is going to be worth so much more, exponentially more, and will just tear through them. So that would be the one gym set that I might add. Of course, I'm running a half set Libra right now. Mainly because if I'm going to be reinforcing or in a tower or something, I don't want to be Zerg marched. A bunch of T2. Yeah, so here we go. I just went through my entire round. Now he's going to go through his round. I'm not too optimistic, mainly because he broke through that slot 3, which means it could hurt. So let's go ahead and fast forward. Yeah, it looks like I was able to break through his front row a little bit, but he was able to eventually get the better of me, and it was on the backing of that slot 3. So that kind of gives you an idea. Let me see if I can get another pretty good matchup here on this. See if I can find one that's a little bit closer to leadership. Here, we'll just plow through this real quick. That Libra for the tier suppression is going to help against Plasma with the T11. Virgo has the strength and weaken effect, which will help as well. And then the damage reduction is going to be great against Plasma as well. This is still going to hurt. Let's see, I'm saying I'm going to lose maybe 50 per stack. So about 300 T12 is what I'm guessing that I'm going to lose. Oh, not as bad actually. Yeah. Plasma's really, I don't know, kind of gone out of the way when it comes to the meta. Same thing with Hoodoo. Hoodoo still has his place. He's still really good. Just haven't really seen him been able to be used effectively at T12. Alright, here's the matchup. This is Yeah, I mean, I'm going to plow through this. This is it's a pretty easy matchup against T11. Man, just the jump from T11 to T12 is so powerful. Uh, this isn't even a fair fight. Alright. That's a tech. He's on my server. Here we go. We got Army. Yes. What's up, buddy? Alright, let's see how this goes. Armory's a major contributor when it comes to the line community. Really appreciate everything he brings to the table. So let's see what happens here. If this is the same army, because I'm seeing T11, and surely... There it is. Yep, looks like we got our same army here. Doesn't have full stack yet, it appears. He's working on it. That's a hell of a Vega, though. Let's see, 900 times 900. Be a 810 leadership Vega. Very powerful. I should take him on this, especially with that slot 5 infantry. So let's see how this goes. And the fact that he only has 300 per slot on the back rows. So it's expensive. It is absolutely expensive to build troops. That is the value of an account. You can devalue an account real quick by just zeroing it. All the research in the world, man, it could take months, 6 months, a year to be able to slow build without the help of a guild or spending a bunch of money, massive stacks of troops. And so that's why you don't see a lot of people with massive stacks. Once you hit T12 and start trying to build, it's a different game. So you can see here that it's starting to melt down his front row a little bit. I've avoided some hits. He's got Cephas that he's pushing on me, which is going to lower my defense. That's a great gem set for Vega. He's missing, so the Body of Phoenix is working. And I've got enough accuracy where I am hitting him, if I didn't already trigger a Q to gift. Alright, now let's watch this. It's not the round 1 that you want to watch, it's that round 2. That's where this thing really comes in. Because I should be, even with him having 100,000 more leadership, I should take this round. Even though some of the troops are moved to the front row, I would say that it's a pretty even match. Let's see. Alright, now we got some guaranteed hits coming, and this should be a hard hit. Scorpio, breakdown. Yeah, I saw that coming. That hurts. Alright, so now here is where I should make my comeback. A lot of this is, remember, he got first strike. Why? Because he had the plasma that killed my ranger. So I wasn't able to push through his plasma, which means that he did get the first strike on me, and that's honestly probably why I lost slot 3, to be honest. Because he got the trigger before I did. Possibly. I could have still lost it. Who knows? So now we got Cassiopeia. We got Virgo that already triggered. So Virgo, Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia is going to increase my defense. Virgo is going to lower his attack. We're pretty even now. Actually, I'm ahead a little bit because I have full 2 stacks on the front row, and he's almost out on his back row. I mean, on his front row. So there we go. See if we get a Sticky Bomb. Sticky Bomb takes out the next slot. So now we got Awakening. Another Cutie Gift. Cassiopeia, defense goes up. Alright. And no Sticky Bomb. Alright, so he gets his first slot, which is only 16 Origin. Pretty much have this game in the bag, but he's going to go through all his first. And we'll go ahead and fast forward this. Boom. So yeah, I caught his slot 5 and was able to push through. So anyways, just want to introduce you guys to Pictor, some of the ideas that you can do with him. Two different builds from your kind of offensive build where you're going to go dodge and attack. You're looking for dodge, dodge, attack, and guaranteed hit gems, to the tank build, and that's going to be more of the defensive. Now, obviously, I'm still using Titans with him, and the reason why is because his skill sets exponentially increase off of the attack that he delivers, and so sometimes the best offense or best defense is an offense. And if you've got a good offensive commander, you've got to be able to exploit his skills the best that you can. And that's Pictor with sticky bombs and guaranteed hit gems to make the sticky bombs go off. If you run this commander, you can be a server nemesis. I mean, you're able to go through and you may not be able to take the tower, but you can absolutely take more than you give and hurt them enough to where they stop wanting to spend money. And that's the name of the game, is basically to find out how to be able to keep people from wanting to full march out there, just so arrogant. Man, I love when I see a full march sitting in the tower. There are a few counters to Pictor as far as formations and stuff. I won't get into those. I'm not going to put everything out there, but yeah, you play around with them. You'll figure out what he's capable of doing. You'll figure out what he's not capable of doing. You'll figure out what you can't do, and that's just as important. So, love you guys. Hopefully this was helpful, informational, and till next time.